This is McCook's Mr. Billson. Honored to have you here. A warning for what came this week. The Attorney General, Jeff Sessions, has said that he wants the law enforcement to start confiscating more property, more wealth from the American citizens. Anybody doing criminal activity, they want to take their wealth. Is this a good thing? Well, if you're talking about maybe drug pushers or something in that nature, some of the excuses they use, but be very careful. Because if the government can come in and freeze your bank account and take your property, how are you going to come up with any funds to fight back with an attorney? And they can take it before you're convicted. Absolutely. You're on your own, penniless, to fight them. What do you think your odds of winning are? Absolutely. And he wants to do more of it. I said more. Now, I don't know a single drug pusher in southwest Nebraska that has publicly had all of his wealth taken away from him. I don't know one. At the same time, I know some farmers that have lost their farms. I said lost their farms. And others that have been targeted time and time again. For what? Wild marijuana growing on their property. They can lose their farm. And you'd say, well, why didn't they just dig it up or kill it? Well, they would if they'd have seen it. But if you have 1,000 acres, it's pretty hard to find one marijuana plant out there. Pretty hard. In amongst a bunch of other weeds. Yeah. And yet that's all it would take for you to lose your farm, freeze your assets so that you couldn't fight back, and possibly see 5, 10, even 20 years in prison. Yeah. And they get to divvy up your wealth. Yeah. And this is what he wants. It's a sad day, and it's something that could affect you. And you say, well, that's just farmers. No. What happens if your neighbor has some marijuana, uses it, and a seed or two falls out over on your side, out in your backyard or someplace that you don't go very often, and all of a sudden it starts growing. It's only a few inches tall, but it's still a marijuana plant. And if they see it, they could take your place, freeze your assets, and you have to try to figure some way to fight back. This is some of the insanity that's out there. Absolutely. And it expands even more. Because not only are they targeting you for drugs, but for all of the other laws. And there are 500,000 laws on the books, including, they just added another 30,000 laws beyond that just this last year. Laws and regulations that you have to adhere to. 30,000 more beyond the 500,000. We're in trouble. And all the news can talk about is collusion with Russia, as if we don't mess with every election around the world. It's McCook's Mr. Bill. You guys be careful out there.